Great. Thanks everybody for joining our third session on Agentic AI at LCLS. Let me see if the clicker works. Okay. It's interesting.
Our consent will be automatic. Yes, that's good.
Yeah, for a moment the clicker works, but I don't set anymore. Let's see how we can fix that. Right now. Okay, it works now. All right. So this is the third part of the training session. It's about MCPs and the agent skills. I'm going to explain what are the MCPs and agent skills. Actually, how many people actually heard of those terminologies already? At least let's say MCPs. Okay, we have a few. Yeah. So today, hopefully after the presentation, you will know what MCPs are and what agent skills are specifically. And in this presentation, I'm going to say it's a more demo-heavy presentation. I'm going to present a demo. It's a fun demo to basically teach AI how to understand what is Slack speak. How many people know Slack speak? Okay, great. We have more hands. So we want to teach the AI to understand Slack speak. Lastly, I'm going to pitch this idea again of new tools and agents. So let's get started. What are MCPs and skills? So in the very first training session, I showed this evolution of agentic AI with a timeline there. We have been through, roughly speaking, 3 different eras. We have the very original chat box-based AI era, like the original ChatGPT, and then people start to play with, plugging tools into the LLMs. Let's say LLM at that time probably can already fetch, let's say, weather information, or can use some basic tools. And then the shell era give the bash to a large language model and see what kind of things it can do. Roughly speaking, the 3 different eras. So where is MCP on this timeline? It's roughly around November 2024. Shortly after tooling has been a thing, MCP comes to the stage. And for agent skill, it's actually more recent. So it's around October 2025. So just maybe 7 months ago, we start to have the official kind of definition of agents skills. So these are quite, I would say, still quite recent development. But they have proven to be quite effective in doing their jobs. But in order to explain what MCPs and the skills are, let's think about it from a user's perspective, like how our user experience has been evolving by interacting with the large language models. Obviously, in the chat box era, essentially what the user feels like is, clicker doesn't work anymore. Okay, so in the chat box era, so this is me essentially, and that young Sheldon is the large language model. Obviously, it can do quite a few amazing things, but whenever I wanted to know something extra, pull something into the context window, I have to kind of spoon feed the model, right? So for example, when you have some documents you want the AI to digest, you upload them that way. So you are spoon feeding the model. And then when tool use becomes a thing, the picture starts to change. Young Sheldon, our large language models, is able to use his own spoon to pull his context. And as a user, that is me again, I feel a bit happier that way. Okay, actually the model can pull its own context. And last year we have this web version of Elon Copilot that's exactly doing something like this. Essentially, it's still a large language model that's sandboxed behind a server, but it's able to use something called MCP to access some databases, in this case, e-log databases, to answer questions. So things are good. And moving forward, we're not just satisfied with providing tools and providing some data sources to the language model. We want the model to actually do more things, more structured things, to accomplish very specific tasks. And that's, we probably will provide a bunch of tools and then ask it to, build a kind of a snack pyramid. That's where this agent scale comes in. We will teach models specifically, we'll give model a recipe and some instructions, and we expect model to accomplish some specific tasks. Yeah, so that's been at least my kind of a user experience of using AI throughout these eras. Now next is when we talk about the large language models, it turns out one increasingly important thing is to understand what kind of things you actually put into an agent. So in this case, it's called context window. In the early days of large language model, the context window is, as far as I remember, it's roughly 128,000 tokens. Today's model, most of them have 200 tokens, some have 1 million tokens. And I've been thinking about also questions like, some people are interested in what a token means. Actually, practically speaking, this is where the concept of token actually matters. It's to the capacity. It's the how many things you can put into a context window. How many things the model can see in one shot. So what are the stuff in the context window? So typically, each model will have its own system prompt. So let's say Anthropic will provide a system prompt to teach model like Claude Sonnet or Claude Opus what kind of things in general it should do, and in general it should not do. And of course, some built-in tools, since we give bash to the model. So some built-in tools like search using commands like grep, ls, and those kind of things to check what's on the file system are there, and other built-in tools as well. And usually you have your project-based or your custom instruction called claude.md. In other kind of harnesses, it's called agents.md. So this will take some spaces in the context window as well. And then you have something called MCPs and agent skills, and then you're ready to go. And then you send some message. The model will probably do some tool calls to pull some extra context and to understand what the task is. And then you do some other things like, I actually want you to accomplish something. And then it does tool calls to produce new artifacts, such as computer codes, like Python codes. Artifacts can also be a PowerPoint slides. And yes, you can ask the agent to make slides. And you can also ask the agents to do other things like generate SVG or some PNG images, etc. So that's roughly speaking how what this context window looks like, right? And I believe right now both MCPs and agent skills are not like fully preloaded. It's loaded. It will be loaded on demand, so that you don't have to. If you have like 100 MCP tools installed, you don't have to start your agent with already like 50% of the context window taken, which is not ideal. So now it's roughly speaking loaded on demand. They only expose like a very tiny bit of header or metadata, at least to tell the model what kind of skills are available or the MCPs available. So MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. I don't actually quite remember the full name all the time, just like you can treat it more like a USB. Like what does USB stand for? I forgot, right? But we know when you say USB, that's a connector, right? So MCP it's the same thing, except it's a connector from between the tools and large language models. Let's say you have your awesome application, you have built your awesome application, or you have some great data source you want to share with other large language models. Let's say to Claude, to GPT, or to Gemini. As of today, I would say you can consider build an MCP server to do that. But but there's this interesting error between MCP was born and between the two use was even a thing. What actually happens between two use was a thing, and then between two use was a thing, and the MCP was born? It's kind of chaotic. Let's say you have your awesome application, then you have to build this glue layer per language model. Let's say if you want to let Claude to use your tool, you have to glue that code. You have to build a glue code to connect to Anthropic. But then you're saying, hey, actually there are more people using GPT. Then you have to write the glue code again, just to talk to the GPT. And so is the case for Gemini. And MCP actually just simplify the entire process. It's just you just write one glue code, and it talks to all kinds of providers. And I believe as of today, most of the large language models, private, proprietary, or open weight, they all support MCP since November 2024. Now, what about agent skills? So agent skills in Anthropic's official kind of a presentation, they said skills is a folder. But then, I've been using skill for quite a long time, and then to me, skills really is just a prompt, maybe a structured prompt. And then you kind of build a shortcut, which is, let's say, /ask ourselves to, and then this is like a prompt shortcut. Then it will be expanded into a full structured prompt. And that prompt will be sent to the large language model. So in terms of what agent skill is, yes, it's if you only consider like the payload of it, it's just a prompt. Agent skill is just a prompt, maybe a more structured one. But when we actually build skills, you might actually want to add more things to it. And this is where things get interesting, because if you pair a large language model with not only skills, but a custom tool. Let's say you build your tool, you can run it on S3DF on your laptop, right? And if you also build a command line interface tool, not only you can write, your users can write, but agents can write it. You just have to tell the agents, how exactly the agent can use those command line interface tools by writing a prompt, essentially. So that prompt is a skill. So that is to say, if you have skills plus a command line interface tool, you are essentially building a specialized agent. So let me say it again. So when you create an agent skill and pair it with a command line interface tool, you are building a specialized agent. And just to show you what the skill file itself looks like, it's a markdown file. It's already kind of rendered into HTML. Yes, it's literally just a prompt. It's just a little bit of structure. It tells the agent how to set up the software, how to set up the data source, and then tell agents a few scenarios where this tool will be useful. So this is, for example, a special agent that understands how XPM timing sequences work. So if you have your own timing sequences you are interested in programming, you can consult this agent. All right, let's make it more concrete by going through two examples. One is for MCP. So in the MCP examples, I usually tend to introduce MCP examples inside a kind of a playground-like chat box. So I'm not sure why it goes to the screen, but all right. So this was this is the web version of the Pilot. It doesn't really have access to the computer. It doesn't have access to Bash, for example. But we could still ask questions and ask it to pull out specific context. For example, going to start soon. Okay, there we go. For example, if you ask a question, what detectors does this particular experiment use? It's able to do a little bit of thinking, like trying to understand what you actually mean, and run something called queries. These are basically SQL queries, which I can show you in a minute right here. Okay, I'm just going to pause the video here. So if you open each query, you can see it's literally just running a SQL command, and from the data source is you return the results based on the SQL command you type there, the agents type there. So that's how a chatbot is able to access other tools. But things become a little bit interesting when you already give the computer bash, give the computer a shell, or essentially just give the computer to the large language model. I'm going to show an example of skill plus COI, but in this case, the COI is not a specialized one. It's essentially just a bash. Right. So by the way, in open code, when the text is a bit small, but I'm going to show a demo later anyway. So for those of you who can actually see the screen, when you want to explicitly trigger a skill in open code, you can say @ and the name of the skill. In Cloud Code, everything is like / name of the skill, and then you tell the agent what kind of things we want the agent to accomplish. And then in this case, we are asking ourselves too, what kind of tutorial data sets we have. And then when you fire it off, oops. You will see something like, okay, it's actually loading a specific skill before it does things. So in this case, it's loading the AskIOS2 skill. Sorry, it's a bit finicky to use videos in your slide. So once the skill is loaded, and it will just does the thing that you ask it to do. In other cases, like what I just typed here, /handoff, in open code, the prompt will actually be expanded. So in the history, you don't really see /handoff, you see the entire prompt of what /handoff is. So that's what I mean. That also explains what I mean that skill essentially is a prompt. So it's a prompt shortcut. All right, so to make things a bit more interesting, why don't we just run a real demo of creating a skill that understands this thing, Slack speak, right? Slack speak is essentially, you can think of it as a collection of terminologies that being quite helpful within the Slack communities. So what I'm gonna do is switch over to, actually before I switch over, by the way, Slack, this is the website of Slack Speak. All I need to do is copy paste the URL. And let me copy paste the URL into our agents. Okay, so here for the demo purposes, I'm going to choose different models because Sonnet 4.6 provided by Slack directly feels a little bit faster in terms of the latencies. Okay, so I guess I'm going to use a combination of the something I call agent of breaks that I introduced in the first course. You remember that I told you to try to manage the model's eagerness, and try to manage the alignment between the model and you, and also the context, manage the context. So I'm going to say use the no eager for now because I only want the model to do a little bit of research. So are you able to visit this site? Yeah, and maybe let's say, do you understand what this page is? Okay, it's about it. So first of all, the /no eager got expanded, it becomes a full prompt. Okay, so it did something. So it did a web fetch. So it's not trying to hallucinating anything from its brain. It knows to visit the website and check this out. Okay, so that's good. At least checks out the website. And maybe the next thing we want the model to do is, could you just browse through a few pages, like what kind of page they have? Yeah, 0A, B, C, something like that, etc. Try to understand the layout of this page, I guess. Then we can probably tell the model what we intend, what our intention is. I'm thinking of scraping the page and bake the knowledge, bake this into some form of knowledge base. So let's see what the model comes up with. Okay, so it starts to visit more pages. That's good. It's trying to understand what each page is like. Understand the structure. Still working on it. Okay, now we got the answer. All right. There's some variations to be aware. Scraping approach recommended. And notice that model didn't really take action to actually just scrape it for me because I told it no eager. That's great. So the next thing I want to do is actually start to let the model think about actually scraping the website and doing some maybe data transformation and then bake this knowledge into database. But while I'm doing that, usually I'll pair it with /clarify just in case the model has some questions they want to ask. Yeah, so let's say, okay, that's very great. Let's design. So notice that we have spent 56K tokens already, which cost 3 cents. We could totally let the model keep doing this within this particular context window. But usually I want the model to, when they actually work on produce new artifacts, work on some creating new artifacts, I want the model to have as fewer tokens as possible. Because more tokens usually also means more distraction. So to make the model, we want to make sure the model is really focused on one specific task. Okay, so in that case, let's ask the model to design each stage. The first stage is scraping. The second stage is called the data transformation. I just call it ETL, extract, transform, and load. I think the last thing is the knowledge base integration. So I wanted to think about those first. And if it has questions, we will feed back to me with the /clarify. So model is thinking. Before I answer the question, I already have some, I'd like to know what next I want the model to do. So while it's thinking about how to do scraping, ETL, data transformation, and then database integration, the next thing is I plan to create 3 handoff documents, one for each stage. All right, so let's answer the question first. What language runtime should the scraper run? I would say Python, but more specifically, I want to say Python, but with UV. So we don't have to worry about, which content environment we should use. Is this a one-time scrape or should it be a scheduled repeat? We could do periodic refresh, but usually we build some baseline thing first. But let's see. Yeah, we can do this. How should duplicate terms be handled? So you can feel like a model actually, thought about some different scenarios. So we have
Do
to.
you want to be picky? BCS is not duplicate in there. It's BCS, the other one is BSC.
We'll find out. Okay, awesome. Yeah, we're gonna just keep all in this case. All right, this is interesting. Model has bias. When we say database, a knowledge base these days, people default to RAG. So that's what happens here. Are we gonna RAG this? I'm gonna have to change the course here. I'll steer the model this way. I believe this kind of task, you can either just dump the file with one term at each line, and you can use simple grep command, or you can make it a little bit fancier. Let's say, let's use SQLite with full text search. And should cross-reference for those kind of things. Let's resolve it at ETL time is recommended. So that's roughly speaking it. Those are the questions. Okay. All right. So notice that it wants to ask me one more follow-up. For periodic refresh, how should the pipeline detect? Yeah, okay. Actually, I regret to use this. I should probably just do one time for this demo. But let's just say,
Can you change your mind here?
great, yes. Actually, we can change our mind here. Let's just say, hey, or we can exit out and change our mind. Actually, let's just do it for one time ingestion. This is a demo anyway. So for the domain tagging, so this, let's just pick what is recommended because it seems like the model knows what's going on here. What should the project live? Where should the project live? That's a great question. I believe I am already in this directory. So let's just run like that. Okay, it starts to think again. When the text is a little faded, it's thinking. When the text is solid, it's it finished all the thinking. Just try to talk to you about what its thoughts are. It laid out to 3 stages. That's great. Actually, while I was doing that, I already want have this idea in mind. Hey, create a handoff document for each stage, right? Because we already burned 60 tokens. We want to have as few tokens as possible while it's doing some specific tasks. So let's say, please create a handoff doc for each stage. But this is the slash handoff. By the way, all these slash no eager, slash clarify, slash align, slash handoff, all those things are available in the open code we provide. If you're interested in using those in your own setup, we could also share that as well, no matter you're using Cloud or open code. Great, so it finished auditing, wants me to see what are the things actually there. Yeah, so with the scraper, looks good for ETL. Where the stage 3 is the ingestion SQL with full text search. Okay, so that looks, yeah, that looks good. One more thing I wanted to do is I forgot to create where the handoff should live. So let's say create a Slack speak demo, for example, here. So let's say maybe we tell it where the handoff should go. The 3 handoff should go to which directory I'm talking about here. By the way, if you add @sign, usually also in open code, it also indicates it's a directory. Should go here. With no op, I'm just giving a command. I don't want it to respond to me like, oh yeah, great, we're gonna do it this way. it will just say, okay, I got it. So hopefully. Yeah, it said got it. 3 handoff docs destination is here. Okay, great. And before we actually write it, I prefer to say under / approval because again, I want to make sure the model is aligned with me. But this thing, I don't know whether it's going to be aligned with you and go both ways. When it's not quite aligned with you, but did something amazing, you will see, people will say, oh, model is emergent. It does some emergent thing. But when it does terrible things, you will say, oh, it's not aligned with me, or it's too eager to accomplish something. So for me, I prefer always to run / approval before it actually writes out, creates new artifact. Okay, so write the handoff. Oops, write to the handoff as planned. I'm kind of type today. Yeah, and before, is there anything we need to be careful about? I think let's emphasize again one more thing. If you use Python, please use UV. Please use UV. Okay. And with / approval, it's only planning things. It won't really write anything before I say yes. Oh, it's giving a very detailed right now. So let's wait a little bit. Some open threads. It's actually a good thing, like because the handoff documents is supposed to be self-contained. It's like you hand it off to a different, to an intern. Yeah, the intern can do a little bit of research on their own, but usually you want to provide as like a self-contained document as possible. Similar things applies to AI agents. Because the next AI agents is going to start with fresh context group. It doesn't know anything this agent has done. Okay, it's waiting for my approval. So let's get going. For a better visualization, let's use Taskify. It will literally just create a task list, which sometimes is nice to have because the model, okay, it created a task list and the model is going to do one thing at a time. It's now writing the first handoff, and after that, it's going to write the rest. While it's doing that, maybe let's fire up a different open question box with a fresh new context window. Let's still choose the model to be Sonnet 4.6 medium effort. I'm thinking of making this as default so that I can switch all the time. Still writing the second file. So the first file is done, right? So usually what I like to do is I would definitely want to check out what the file looks like. So the file looks like this. So first of all, the go, scrape all the pages. Then it will feed to the second stage ETL step. It will tell us what to do, what not to do, some assumptions it has made, and then there we go. So while the main agent or the research agent is trying to finish writing all the handoff documents, we could already ask a new agent to work on the first task. So here I usually like to use /no-op while the model is reading a handoff document, because I roughly know what this handoff document is. It doesn't have to summarize it for me again or again. Save some tokens, just to save some tokens. So the first one is stage 1. Read, speak, handoff / stage 1. Okay, so just read it, and it will say got it. Okay, got it. Right. So don't summarize it for me. I don't need your summarization for now. Yeah, so after that, usually I don't ask it to just go off by itself already. I ask, is there any gaps? Because this, at the end of the day, it's a handoff document from some other agents. It's entirely possible that there might be some gaps for the new agent. So I just wanted the new agents to check if there's any gaps. Okay, this question is, the handoff says to fetch a raw page, inspect, blah, blah, blah. Should I do the live inspection? Yeah, do it live first. That sounds good. Where should the scripper code live? Okay, so let's maybe just put them into the demo. I think that's fine. Do we need a UV? Yeah, let's use UV. Okay. And then it was asking me, how would I like to proceed? I think at this point it's pretty clear what the model will do, but typically I will still run /align just to check the scope real quick. Build one-time scraper that fetch off the page. Okay, that looks good. Now implement it with the /approval. So /approval this time will actually try to put together an implementation plan. And go. Because these three tasks, do depend on each other, so I would just let this agent finish the first task before we kick off the second one. If you feel like your tasks are parallel, they're independent, you can kick off multiple agents at this point. It keeps doing some research. To try to understand the HTML for this moment. If we're interested in what is going on in the sub-agent, we can use our mouse to click. Actually, mouse doesn't. Okay, so this is what the sub-agent is working on. And the sub-agent has its own context window showing up on the top right. Select down, let's go back. The main agent finished thinking. All right, so now it's creating the project with the UV. You can see it finished installing something. Actually, there was error or something, but never mind. It's UV, so it can figure out things. All right, now it's working on the actual script. By the way, I'm not talking about how to create the skill yet, because the most important thing is to build the tools. Creating agents or agent skills is literally by talking to the program. So that's not too difficult. All right, it finished writing the file. Now it starts to execute the file. So this is all going on in real time. So let's give it some time. Okay, verify that. So that's not too bad. We pulled some records. The definition. Let's try to understand what's going on. There's some gaps. It says the parser is correct. Of course, we can keep refining at this stage, but for this demo purposes, I'm gonna like some level of imperfection is fine. Okay. All right, so now this is done. So as a result, we did, I believe, we already have the script, and we also have the data. Okay, JSON. Okay, great. Let's clean up this session. /new is like clean up the session. Now we have a fresh context window again. I'm gonna ask it to read Slack, speak, demo, and a second handoff document that is for the ETL to convert the JSON-L into databases. But these steps, I just, I typically understand. As you work with agents more, you roughly have a kind of calibration on what kind of task is like easy for the agent, what is not. And in this case, okay, I'm about to run /align, but it asks me a question. If a cross-reference target doesn't exist, what should we do? Actually, I'm not sure. So discard it from this. Keep it as it. Let's just keep them as they are. For this question, C also X and Y. C edge cases. What should we do? Resolve first targets and resolve all targets. Yeah. Well, entries with blank definition. What should we do? Let's keep it empty. Domain keyword matching. Should keywords be matched against the definition? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, should be matched with definition. All right, so I will run /align just to check the scope. Write the ETL that transforms the raw JSON into a SQLite. Yes, that's what we want. Then let's do /approval. It's cute. Oh, first the message is not done yet. Okay. So it's trying to figure out an implementation plan for the ETL, for the extract, transform, and load program. It works on the dependencies of Python. Thinking about regex. Interesting. There we go. Finally, we are having a plan. I'm just going to write. You could intervene here by checking on the details, but let's give it a run. This is a prototype. We'll just see what the results are like first. So what I'm showing here is not maybe the best engineering practices, but it's like a way to get some prototype going, and if you really see directionally that's the correct, that's correct, and then you add more like engineering rigor into your process. But again, that's easier said than done, but just be careful about that. Because sometimes when you see some ideas working, you got too excited and just keep using the messy code you have created. You can see it has some structures now.
It's running. I have a question about the model. So what would be the different experience? What would be the difference in experience if you were using Opus instead of Sonnet here?
Yeah.
Just faster.
It's really hard to say. Right now, we don't recommend the Opus purely because of the cost constraint. Let me just. I forgot. Did I write? I ran it. Yeah, I write the code is there. Okay. So yeah. So it's mostly kind of cost constraint. Also, it created a clean logic. That's good. All right, so as I'm answering the question, let me just get the third one going. So let's speak demo handoff number 3, which is the SQLite. And you probably know what I would type at this point. Yeah, so Opus can do things. I'm actually not sure. For complex tasks, you might need Opus. Because it's bigger model, right? So it's more capable of understanding things. The representation space is bigger. But Let me finish up.
Sorry, we can do that later.
The integrations bring to the post-load summary. Let's just do it. Yeah, so because Opus is still quite expensive, 2 times more expensive maybe. So yeah, so if you're a very productive individual and you're only using Sonnet, let's say you don't have like 5 different meetings to attend every day, and then you actually like work, and you probably will spend like $40 every day with Sonnet. That was the an estimate I have like 6 months ago. Now the math might change, but if that's the case, every month it's like $1,000-ish, right? So a year is like 12,000, and let's say how many actual engineers work like that. Let's say we have 2,000 employees. Let's say half of them are working very productively with agents, and then that's $12 million for every year. Yeah, so that's even, but probably that's a little bit overkill because throughout the week I do have like a few days that I'm mostly just doing meetings and yeah. So
still work.
Yeah.
Opus would basically double or triple the deal for the same result.
Probably. Yeah. The more interesting thing is about prompt caching. I touched upon that in the first training session. I think it might worth another session or blog post to explain the caching, because with the caching you save a lot of costs. You probably can do. You probably can't afford Opus at that point. I'm checking with Slack ID to understand how their caches are improved. Yeah, so it's done. We do have the finished all 3 steps. So now let's do one more thing, which is let's say please read. I remember I git cloned one of the skill folders from Anthropic. Skill creator. Okay, there we go. Anthropic provided a template how to create a skill. That's what I mean by like, don't worry too much about how to create a skill. Once you have your tools, you build an awesome tools and want to connect to the LLMs, we can ask an agent to create a skill. Maybe just not to read because it's a folder. Explore this folder and understand how to create an agent skill. We want to create one that can talk to where the database is. Second, slackspeak.db. Okay. Talk to the database and answer questions. So let's ask it to do some research. Always ask a model to do some research, unless it's like a data simple questions. I'm actually not sure how many data simple questions we have, but what is 2 + 2? But so I'm trying to give you a feeling that you want to accomplish tasks with as fewer tokens as possible, but I don't mean like you should sacrifice the research. You always do research, and you hand it off to a newsflash agent to save for implementation with minimal number of tokens. It's checking some other skills that I have. I believe it will have a lot of questions. Let's just plan to write clarify now. Basically, I finished understanding how the skill works and trying to understand what we're building. And we're following the Smartsheet scale. There's some more questions. Let's just cue the /clarify there. One thing about /clarify is whenever it has questions, it prompts some nice UI for me to like answer questions or kind of like that. Yeah, something like this. Where should the DB live? So it knows, somehow it knows we have a centralized deployment because maybe it already looked up what a Smartsheet agent looks like. Actually, we don't want to deploy it yet. Let's keep the current path, or let's just create maybe a skill Slack speak, for example. Here, just copy the DB there. Okay. Where should the finished skill be installed? Great question. I just said this. Here. What should the skill be able to do beyond a simple lookup? Well, I want all of them. Maybe. This. Right. Okay. Can I do all of them? I think so. Yeah, go. There we go. So that's the clarify. Now let's align just to understand whether the scope is what we want. Yeah, scope is write a skill.md for this lookup skill, copy the actual DB there. Yeah, it looks right. Actually, at this point, I should just let it go, but just in case, I'll do slash approval, and let it go. And then, like, hopefully in a few seconds, it will create a skill for us. So try to create a directory just in case it's not there. Copy the DBs there, and then write to the skill.md. Let's just, I don't know how to copy paste this properly. Let's see if it's working. Yep, DB is there. Okay, it's just writing the skill.md. Okay, there we go. We have skill.md and we have the database. We can ship this. But instead of shipping this, I'm just going to do a local test. So let's start a new session. Let's say read this skill, load the skill called skill.md. Now we can ask your questions. Basically, what is LCLS? Oh, wait, it doesn't find the skill? Oh, no, it's looking at there's no at. Okay, sorry, let me do it again. Now let's ask a question, what is LCLS? And yeah, sure, it can answer that. Any questions we want to ask a Slack speak? Random questions.
What's the ECSK?
ECS what?
K.
How to spell
The
it?
letter K.
ECS K. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, sorry. Einstein Cartan Siama Kib. Oh my.
No idea what that is.
Yeah.
What is BCS?
Yeah, what is ECS?
BCS.
Oh, BCS, right, okay. Beam containment system?
Yes.
Check the ECS as well. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think ECS is in the Slack speech.
No, we should tell them to add. Yeah, great. So that's how we just created a Slack speak agent, special agent on real time. Great. So that's, I think,
question there. No.
Yeah.
So earlier it flagged BCS as a potential duplicate, but it was actually
It didn't.
BSC was the second, right? So
Yeah.
now it only shows one response.
That is good. So it didn't do the thing that I was afraid it kind of conflated things. So
Right, so I think I would just cut it here. I have a blog post about build tools, and if you're interested, you can read that. It's gonna be on our website too. So that's it. Yeah, thanks everybody.
Thank you.